The only way to figure this thing out is to do the win-loss game. What's the thing I'm talking about? Baker Mayfield sitting there, and we just had Ross Tucker on saying Carolina should get him, Seattle should get him, and then there's Jimmy G. We have no idea when he's going to be available or physically ready or anything like that. So, Mike, I need NFL Films music to get us in the mood.
Yes.
Carolina Panthers, I want their schedule up on the screen. Because, again, right now they've got Sam Darnold and Matt Corral, the rookie, sitting right there in Carolina. And the question is do you go into the season with those guys as your quarterbacks? Because you got P.J. Walker in the third string. I mean, after Darnold, he gets banged up. You're going to throw Matt Corral in there? So let's just get going here. Let's just do the first 8 games, okay? First 8 games for the Carolina Panthers. Win-loss. Home for Cleveland.
Well, they're going to start 3-0, right? Just like last year?
Well, I mean, they did start fast, but home for these are all you tell me. Home for Cleveland, I'm going to give Cleveland the win. Why not?
Okay.
I think Cleveland's the better team. They are the better team. Cleveland is the better team. They've got the better run game. They've got the better line. Even if it's Jacoby Brissett. Okay. I mean, Jacoby Brissett started a season for the Indianapolis Colts. At the Giants. All right, I'll give them one there just because we don't even know what the Giants are. So that's 1-1. Home for New Orleans, that's a loss. Home for Arizona, I'll give them a loss there. And then they're home for San Francisco, at the Rams, home for Tampa, at Atlanta. Ooh. Okay, so let's do the win-loss game here. I'll give them a win at home against... Wow.
They're going to win one of these games that they probably shouldn't.
Okay,
right?
but we're going to do win-loss game here. I say that they're a loss against Cleveland, a win at the Giants. I don't think they're better than New Orleans. I think that's a loss. I think that's 1-2. Home for Arizona. I'll give them a win there. Oof. Because, again, Arizona doesn't have their wide receiver in DeAndre Hopkins. So they're 2-2, and then they lose at home against San Francisco. They come out here and get waxed by the Rams. That's 2-4. Home for Tampa, that's 2-5. And then at Atlanta, I'll just be generous and give them a win there, 3-5.
Rich, can I be cautious about giving them the L to the Browns at the beginning of the year? Because McCaffrey's going to be playing. He's going to be healthy. You know what he does in early games. He's going to have like 230 combined yards and 4 touchdowns.
Can I jump back in here and now do the same thing with Baker Mayfield as the quarterback?
Sure. Please.
They beat the Browns, man, with Baker.
With Baker. Okay.
Hell yeah. Hey, Baker, go get him.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Go get him. And I think they still win at the Giants. I'll give them a win there.
2.
I think that they will lose to New Orleans at home.
1.
I'll still say that. 2-1. I think they beat Arizona. They're now 3-1. Home for San Francisco, it's 3-2. I think at the Rams they lose 3-3. And here's what I'll do.
Upset special?
I think Baker stares down Brady and plants the flag and says, "Go screw yourself," and they go down to Atlanta and win. I think that's the difference between Baker being there and not. Difference between being 3-5 and 5-3. That's what Baker Mayfield means for that team.
I think we're also overhyping San Francisco if you think Trey Lance is going to be the starter.
I think Trey Lance is going to be the starter, and I think Trey Lance is going to be terrific as the starter, and I think the San Francisco 49ers, whatever you think, I'll take the over.
Okay. Interesting.
Give me the music again. Let's now do Seattle. Seattle Seahawks currently right now. Let's say it's Drew Lock, right? They lose that opener. Denver goes in and wins that one. I think there's no way in hell Russ loses that game right now.
No chance.
Okay. At San Francisco, they lose that one. I think they lose that one. I think home for Atlanta, they win that. That's their first win. They're 1-2. At Detroit, oh my gosh. I kind of dig the Lions right now. I'll give the Lions the win there. I'm going to give the Lions the win there. That's a 1:00 game, too, at Detroit. And I know that's been a Pete special is to win those games. At the New Orleans Saints, I think that is a loss. What am I giving them? I've given them now Have they won a game yet? They beat Atlanta. So I've got them at 1-4. Home for Arizona. Am I going them 1-5 right now?
It seems that way.
I'll give them a win against Arizona. Again, I think Arizona's going to have tough trouble starting. So that's now 2 wins. At the Chargers, I think they lose that. Home for the Giants, they win that. 3-5. I just gave them 3-5.
Man, I think that's super generous. Seattle's got number 1 pick written all over.
Keep it going.
Ooh.
Let's go back now. Baker's the starter.
Okay.
I still think they lose to Russ. I don't think Russ is losing that football game. I don't think Russ is losing that football game. I think they go to San Francisco and win with Baker. How about that?
Well, you know what I think. I don't think Trey Lance is any good.
All right, so that's 1-1. I think they beat Atlanta. I think they go to Detroit and win that game. How about that? 3-2. I know that's still the 1 o'clock Eastern start. Home at New Orleans, they lose that. So they're 3-2. Home for Arizona. I'll give them the win there, 4-2. By the way, Baker at the Chargers last year. Remember that game for the Browns and Chargers that was on tilt?
One of the best games of the year.
I say they lose that, and I think they beat the Giants at home. So I say they go 4-4 with Baker? It's a difference, man. And if you guys, anybody out there, gals, think differently, call us. But I think Baker's an upgrade. An upgrade. And we're just throwing darts right here about wins and losses right now. We have no earthly idea who's hurt, who's not, who comes out hot, who doesn't. But Baker just gives you a different edge, man.
And he's an upgrade over their 2 situations right now.
Sam Darnold versus Cleveland, your opener for Carolina, or Baker versus Cleveland, your opener for Carolina.
Different motivation
Of
there,
course.
but yeah, obviously.
And that's just a different edge.
Yeah.
He just brings a different edge. And just in that one game, but just in general, man. Can't believe that guy might be looking at the abyss of not starting week 1 right now. I just don't get it. I know I've been caping for Baker quite a bit.
Well, you love him like your own son.
I do not. I do not. There's stuff going on behind the scenes I'm unfamiliar about that I'm sure a lot of people would be like, Rich, sit down. Let me tell you a story about Baker or two. And I'll be like, really?
And that's probably likely, but there's no doubt that he can't. He can play. He's a starter.
Do you think Russ loses that first game at all?
No chance. I would bet your mortgage, 401k,
Really?
IRA, all of it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for sure.
He don't play when it comes to that stuff,
Under
Rich.
no circumstance is Russell Wilson losing week 1. 0. I mean, what's the NFL record for yards in one game passing?
Come on,
is it still
man.
Norm Van Brocklin? It's still Norm, right?
At last check, yeah.
540 something.
You're saying that's going to be eclipsed?
I'm saying it's in play.
Wow.
No, I don't know. But I don't think Denver loses. You want the line, Rich? I mean, the lines are already out.
Get out of
The
here.
line's out. Oh, this makes no sense to us. I know. When I say us, I mean
are you
Rich and
serious?
I.
Like you can get on this now, and it still is valid for September the 12th.
Oh yeah.
The whole team hasn't even assembled yet.
MGM bet. You can go right there now. Boom.
Rich, by the way,
Why would you even give him a shout out like that?
Because that's where I bet.
Okay.
I mean,
you-
Mike, come on.
Did you happen to hear Dan Campbell's conference about them not having any primetime games and what he said?
Yeah, he said that he's cool with it.
Yeah, he's like, knock them all out and go home. You don't have to wait in your hotel all day.
How about the
and
league
you can use it as a bye
response,
week.
though? The league response was, well, that opening window on Thanksgiving is one of our most watched, so it's basically a primetime game.
I mean, that is true.
Opening
It's the
window?
truth.
That's
It
true,
is.
but
People are sitting
But
in
that's
meetings.
kind of lame. Like, hey, look, a lot of eyes on this one. I know it's not
It's the
prime
truth.
time, but
It
you
is.
know,
It is the truth.
10 o'clock on Thursday morning.
Let me tell you
is
something.
The same as
that's going to be a highest rated game they have all year. Though.
Let me tell you something.
I mean, come on.
If the league ever decided to say, you know what, to hell with tradition, Lions just have been so terrible, they're out. Do you know how many teams would be all over saying, well, can we host that game?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, players might not, but
Players would hate it.
Players would hate it.
Yeah. But the teams, that's
My
all eyes on
gosh.
you on Thanksgiving.
Long-time executive in the NFL, who shall remain nameless for the moment, thought that the Lions should be relegated out of that spot. It's beachfront property, is that first Thanksgiving game. So, yes, that is. It's not played at night, but in terms of the audience, it's bigger than some of the night games.
Yeah.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.